Hey, what's up? This is Just Plain Nonsense.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Rob. Hey, as you guys can see, if you're watching, if you're not, you can hear. We have two people sitting back here. You guys know Amanda. Say hi, Amanda.
Hi.
And this is Amanda's husband over here. This is Shane.
Hi.
They just got back from a little vacation that they took because it was their 1 year wedding anniversary.
Yay.
So,
Yeah, it was.
Tell us about it. How was it? I just want to hear about the fun traveling part, not the relationship stuff. If you follow me. So tell me about it. How'd it go?
Okay, well, first of all, we are very last minute type of people.
This is absolutely true.
Yes, literally we planned our whole wedding in less than a week.
Fact.
Replanned
Replanned it because that was the whole thing. But anyway, we're very last minute type of people. So a few days ago before we left, Shane was like, I think I want to go somewhere for our anniversary. And I was like, okay, where do you want to go? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, okay, we'll pick somewhere. And we want to go to the ocean, but it's really far away, obviously. And
because we're right in the middle of the country.
Yeah. And then Shane's like, oh my goodness, Lake Michigan kind of looks like the ocean. We could go there. And then we ended up in Indiana on Lake Michigan.
Well, okay.
Nice.
Okay, to be fair, to clarify. So this whole thing started because I'm like, okay, we could go to Alabama. Right? Alabama. Sweet home Alabama. Okay.
Isn't that where Roll Tide?
Roll Tide.
Isn't that Alabama?
War Eagle. Yeah, both those things. But that's I think it's not. Don't you hate it when you have to you rub your eye and you can't stop? Okay.
Yeah, because it feels so good. You're like, all right.
I am so glad that you didn't say airplane food or something like that. I hate cliches like you hate puns.
Oh, are you glad you ate airplane food? I got it. Okay, I didn't know where you were going with that.
Anyway.
Now my eyes
Don't you hate
started itching.
elevator music, which we performed?
Yeah, if you guys want to see that, subscribe to Patreon. Patreon.com/justplainnonsense. You'll get to see our outtakes.
Yeah, that was before the show.
Yeah.
Okay, but so we were Alabama. Oh my gosh, I can't talk.
Alabama
is about 9.5 hours, depending on how fast you drive. If Amanda's driving, it's 8 hours. If I drive, it's 10. So it kind of depends. But
yeah, she does
we
have
could
a
have
bit
gone
of a
all the way
lead
down
foot.
there.
Lead foot is a treatable disease.
Please
You have to
slow
replace
down.
it with helium warts.
And then, so what I ended up doing, I'm like, okay. I went straight to the internet, and it's top 10 places you can visit to go camping around the U.S. And it's
Dude, that's a straight
California,
commercial
Utah, Maine, Alaska. And I'm like, okay, I don't think that this is in our budget or possible for me to drive
We
there.
have $3. Just kidding.
Murfreesboro, that's where we're going.
Here's your anniversary budget. You have $2. No, so we were looking around, and I'm like, okay, what's like the ocean? Doesn't take as long to get there, and it's still on this nice site that I've been scrolling through.
the Discovery Channel.
Yes, Indiana Dunes State Park. I'm like, okay, I didn't know Indiana had any dunes. I was under the impression that it was just corn and woods.
Oh, and there is a lot of corn. Don't get us wrong.
But
Me and Shane literally were rating cornfields.
Rating?
Rating them.
It gets to the point
Like you would break in and take the corn?
No, rating.
Oh.
1 to 10.
Got it.
Raping.
No.
no.
Completely wrong.
When you're going past and you've seen tens of thousands of acres at this point of just straight cornfields, you're like, okay, that one looks good. And then you're like, oh man, that one's
You're
not
like,
looking so
that
good.
crop isn't as good. It's gotten too much
You become
water
a
this year.
critic.
We're going to be paying
that
for that.
Rain this,
Yup.
this spring ain't been good for the corn. No.
Man, I just shot a
Sorry, Indiana.
I just shot a commercial recently, and they were talking about agriculture stuff, and they were talking about the yields of corn, and they were throwing out all these numbers. They're like, well, this year is probably going to be a 430 yield. And I'm like, what is that? What?
What does that mean?
This is going to be a G style yield. Normally we go on a C is the worst we want, but I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Was this the
Literally
corn,
none of this makes
was
sense.
that the Corn Expo?
It was an agricultural expo.
Nice.
Yeah, I had no idea what they were even talking about. So now I have to go edit that video, and I don't know what I'm even listening for. So
Well,
that's
fun
gonna be
fact
awesome.
that I found that you can put in your video. I think Illinois is over 75% corn and soybean product.
Mm-hmm.
over 75% of the land is rather corn or beans.
Don't quote us on that, though. Look it up yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
So put source here.
That means I gotta look it up.
I'll send you a link later.
Yeah, Shane, you look it up and send it to me. Send me a screenshot.
Well, anyway, we ended up in Indiana on the sand dunes.
Was there corn out there too?
No.
No.
There's
There's
no corn in the sand.
That sounds romantic. We're just gonna roll around in corn and get crazy.
Have you ever heard a country song in your life?
I've heard maybe one.
Well done.
That was good. All right, so corn, you're on the corn sand.
On the
dunes?
corn
Yeah.
dunes. So yeah, we made it there Friday night, and so we planned on camping most of the weekend.
But like I said before, we're very last minute people. So we didn't reserve a campsite. So we get there.
Okay, I've never reserved a campsite in my entire life. I've never had to. You just roll up to the campsite. They're like, "Oh, you want to stay in one of our tent sites?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And they're like, "Okay, that's $7." And you hand them that, and they're like, "Okay, you can just go over here." No, I roll up to the first one. It's like campground full. I look up. There's 148 spots. Every single one of them are full. I'm like, okay, so we head to the gas station.
You're outside. What do you mean there's spots? Like, just go pull up to a freaking lake and go sleep.
It turns out that doesn't work that way, and the U.S. Natural Forest Service frowns upon that behavior most of the time.
See, this is an argument that I don't even want to get into. I don't have any facts, but I think
That's
what-
my land.
That's so dumb.
So we end up going to one of the gas stations, like right next to it, and we walk in there. And I'm like, okay, is there any campgrounds around here that aren't full? And she's like, okay, well, here's a list, and gives me like 8 right off the back. And so I start calling them and looking at them. Every single one of them are full.
Man.
For miles.
Was this
in
like a
every
camping
direction.
weekend or something?
Okay, well, okay.
It's like a
Again,
million
Well,
degrees outside.
we didn't really know this, but first of all, this place we're at is only like 40 miles from Chicago. So Lollapalooza is happening.
Oh, okay.
And also there's the national boat races that were going on
Oh,
at the
no,
lake.
it's international.
It's
international boat
Ooh,
races.
it's even bigger.
And it's like 5 miles down the road. So 5 miles down the road, we have international boat races. And then in the other direction is Lollapalooza. So every single thing is full. We end up having to drive like 13, probably like, it was like 13, right? 13 or 10 miles out from the lake just to find a camping spot. I called them the first time. I'm like, do you have any tents open? They're like, we have a few. You must get here fast or we're going to sell them out.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be sleeping in my truck all weekend. So we drive over there and I get there and they're like, okay, that's going to be $40 a campsite. And I'm like,
What?
Per
night.
night.
And how long were you there?
Per night.
2 days. I paid $80 just to spend the night on a piece of grass for 2 days.
Yep.
Outside.
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 And it was supposed to have like an electrical and water hookup.
And it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't even work.
That's when you're like, I want at least 30 of those dollars back.
Actually, these people are kind of smart, though. Literally, their house is in the middle of the campground, and they literally just made their yard the campground, and they're making bank.
their house is literally like you drive past and go to the bathroom.
Yes.
There's just the house.
Like, they're very smart.
Okay, see, that makes more sense to me with them charging you because that's their property.
Yeah.
But if it's like, if you're just going to go out in the middle of the wilderness where like nobody owns it, just who
Well,
cares?
don't even start on that one. As far as wilderness
That's
and
what I'm
everything.
saying.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's ridiculous.
Well,
the
go
problem
there.
is that's normally illegal.
No, that's what I'm saying is it shouldn't be illegal.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you either way.
Right.
No, I think it's dumb, too.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly.
I agree. That's super duper dumb.
But anyway, we only ended up spending 2 nights there. And then we're like, oh, well, it's our anniversary. We'll go ahead and get a hotel room for the next night, for the 3rd night. And so we're like, oh, we'll just do it on Expedia. You can get like a good deal, you know, like you've used Expedia before.
.com.
Yeah. You've used that before.
Oh, no, I never used it. I just heard the commercials.
Well,
a lot.
anyway, okay, we use that.
Not sponsored by Expedia.
So we get to the hotel, and I'm trying not to be a negative Nancy. I'm like,
You ever just
"Oh."
roll up to a hotel that you just booked online, you've never seen it before, and you just
The
look at the outside and
pictures.
you're like,
It was like, and you're like, oh, this is maybe not good.
You're like, they hired a really good photographer. Or
Yeah,
a really good
literally.
I
Photoshopper.
feel like these pictures are not what I actually saw.
And well, I make Shane go in there by himself because first of all, I'm in my swimsuit. All my clothes are like wet. I'm like, I'm not going in there like
Why are your
that.
clothes wet?
because
You
I
were
was
in
at
the
the
lake.
lake and it got wet in the kayak, my clothes.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, lakes
Yeah.
have water in them.
That's a whole
No, I get that. She's like, I'm in a swimsuit, and then all my clothes are wet. Like, did you go swimming in your clothes and then change in your swimsuit?
That's a whole nother part of the story, though, and we'll get to that in a second.
But literally, so Shane goes in there. He's like, "Oh, Dave is really nice." So,
Okay, number one, I told you like 3 times his name was John, and
oh,
you
sorry,
talked to
Here we go.
John. His name is John.
And I was deceived, okay, because when I saw the outside at first, I'm like, oh, this is really bad. And then I walk in, and they were really nice, and I'm like, okay, maybe this won't be so bad. Nice people don't work in bad hotels. I was wrong.
So we go to our room, and first of all, it smells like someone was smoking cigars in there for about 17 years, and then covered it up
Like
with
Febreze, there's like-
no, not Febreze. Febreze would kind of smell good,
Like a Tic Tac.
ammonia. Like they were
Oh
like,
my gosh. Somebody was murdered in there.
and it smelled disgusting.
I'm not unconvinced. There was like brown stains on the pillows.
I'm telling you.
I'm really,
Brown stains?
Yes,
bro.
That's about 100% always bad.
yes. And there was this lady.
It's about 100% always bad.
But no, and then we're walking down the hallway because Shane, we tried to open the window to ventilate it. It was not working.
we were trying to be positive. We get there,
We're
it
like-
smells like
we're like,
someone died and they tried to cover it up. And then there's brown stains on the pillows. It kind of looked like there was bugs in there anyway. I can't confirm that, but it's
Nor
definitely
deny.
possible. So I'm like, let's just open the window. Let's let the air run for a second. And
Let the
Amanda, the whole
breeze.
reason Amanda booked this hotel, she's like, it has a hot tub and a pool. So I'm like,
tub
okay,
will
let's
be
just
fine.
let it vent out for a moment, and let's just go and enjoy ourselves in the pool. And so we start
Stop.
walking down the hallway.
This is
and
the
hear
worst part.
someone screaming at the top of their lungs in
literally
Spanish,
screaming.
like she was
Like-
about to murder
Where
somebody.
did you win? Did you review the ratings or just don't understand
No,
ratings?
actually,
she gets she's like, look, they rated it with a star. That's how bright great it is.
Listen to me.
It's got a star rating.
Listen.
Let's go.
It was 4 stars. I thought that was pretty
You think you
good.
could trust that?
I don't know if you knew there was a number of stars.
No.
I thought you were like, a star. That means it's good.
has
No,
one
I
star.
am not dumb.
4 out of 30 stars.
So we walk our way down, and what I've noticed as I'm walking through
Each
these different, because
hallway-
they don't connect. So like each hallway has like a door, then you hit like a little space that has usually like a pair of stairs, and then there's another door to the next hallway. In each section, including the interconnecting sections, there's a different smell.
For each hallway.
And each one is stranger than the last
Yes.
one. As you get towards the pool. So we get all the way to the pool. And it doesn't look that bad at first. I do notice the hot tub does. Okay,
It's not a hot tub. It's
okay, my version of a hot tub is like a jacuzzi. Okay, there's bubbles, there's like jets or something. This literally just looks like a smaller pool that might be hot.
What if it was like a cesspool, like where they did a
Probably more
sewage,
like
and they
what
were like,
it was. And so finally, we're like, okay, at this point, we're like, oh, this is really bad.
I'm super sketched out right
But
now.
I've already paid $67 for
and
this
we
hotel.
don't like to complain at all.
I'm
Right.
stimulated because I'm still trying to form an opinion. I know the opinion's not going to be romantic, but there's an opinion I'm trying to form and I can't just quite nail it. But I'm also intrigued to want to go because
You don't. No, you don't.
each hallway has its own smell.
But okay, it
What
has
does
its
this
own
mean?
smell. It's
And what is
intriguing.
the smell?
It's intriguing in a bad way because, like, I remember we walked into one of the hallways. I'm like, this kind of smells like biscuits and gravy, except bad.
Yeah.
That's weird. I'm
Okay, so
trying to pinpoint this emotional.
I'm gonna-
try to connect to this story, but I'm like,
I'm going to pause your story for a quick second because I have a story.
Go for it.
Okay, I may have told you this
biscuits and
before,
gravy,
but
but not biscuits and gravy.
so a friend of mine came home from work one day, and he walked into his house, and he goes, "Ooh, something smells good." So he walked up to his wife, and he goes, "Hey, who's making
already
who's
funny.
making beef stroganoff?" And she goes, "Nobody's cooking anything." And he's like, "I don't know what that is, but I want some of it. It smells so good." So he can't figure out what it is. So finally, like later in the day, he goes into the bathroom and finds out that somebody took a big old dumper in the toilet, and it
That's
turned
what he
out to be
wanted, so.
it turned out to be his mother-in-law who was living there. And that's what he wanted was some of her stool. And he,
Whatever this is, I gotta eat. I want to eat a bunch of it.
smelled to him. It smelled like beef stroganoff in the house.
Disgusting. That's
Well,
literally
when you guys,
so
you got
bad.
it. You know,
Okay, continue on
Yeah.
to our hotel horror
Please continue
story.
your story.
Biscuits and gravy, but
So-
not biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So finally, after this entire horror show, which probably only lasted approximately 20 minutes, I'm already horrified because I'm usually
Horrified.
Every time we've been to a hotel or like gotten a deal online, like it's actually been pretty decent. Like we got a Hyatt that was really nice. It was a super bougie hotel room. We got it for like $75. I'm like, this is awesome. Every single time we get a hotel, it's great.
And then you pay
Until
$80
this
to
one-
sleep on the grass for 2 days.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about that. Every single time before this has been perfect, and then finally we run into this issue.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, let's just get in the pool for a minute.
Let the
And we're
air,
ju-
let
we're
the
just
room
gonna let
air
it
out.
and we're just going to think about our options.
Did the pool
And
smell like pee?
No.
But
Even better. You're going to be really surprised by
so
what
I
we're
start
going to
stepping
say.
down the ladder into the pool, right? And I finally hit the bottom because the pool's only 5 foot deep
Oh,
at the deep
God.
part
That
anyway.
was the biscuits and gravy smell. Of the pool.
And
That's where they
my
make
feet hit the liner, and I realized that the liner
Is like,
is squishy.
it's like floating above. Like there's a space.
Wow.
Like you like touch your toes, and like
Like
you
algae.
feel it sink down and hit the bottom.
Yes.
So it was an outdoor pool?
No, it was inside.
indoor. And so I'm tiptoeing around in this 5 foot pool with a squishy bottom, contemplating about my smelly room.
Does the pool have a squishy bottom or do you have a squishy bottom?
Both. Both of those things are correct. And I'm contemplating my life choices. Wherein
We're trying to be positive because it's our anniversary. And then the whole time I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. And then I'm like, Shane, I can't do this. Like, I literally can't
this
do
whole time,
this.
there's small children like flying inches above my head into
like-
the pool, screaming.
Oh, see, when I was visualizing this, the whole entire hotel was empty.
No.
Except for you
No,
two and
there
that
was
one
actually-
screaming Spanish lady.
And one really pale, like bellman is like.
This is the only side
That doesn't
character in the
speak, he
story. Was the screaming,
The screaming Spanish lady. That was the only other person.
No, there was a whole bunch of people there. There was like a dad, a whole bunch of kids. They were all in
the
hot
hot
tub,
tub, yeah.
The warm tub.
the lukewarm tub.
Yeah.
The warm bucket of water.
the hot water tub, and
It's really worn by people's
kids
body
screaming
heat.
past my
Yeah,
face.
in the pee.
A large biker man with a big beard comes in with like a little water sampler test.
Yeah, and he
Picks
like
it up,
checks the water.
checks it,
It's like
walks
maybe you
back
should be
out.
testing the bottom of the pool.
Under the
Yeah,
liner.
like why is it not?
He doesn't know. He's just doing it in front of them so that way they don't question. Like, oh, it's. He's like, it's like. Oh.
He was there was nothing inconspicuous about it. He like walks down, he like tries to bend down. He's like, oh, he had like a big cowboy hat on, which is weird because we were in like North Indiana. And I'm like, okay. And he like bends down the first time, it almost loses his hat, so he like grabs it. And he bends down again. He gets it. He's looking at it. He's like, and walks back to his table, starts putting strips in it. He's like, Kind of shakes his head a little bit.
Takes a real stick. Like,
Yeah, like, that tastes like straight urine.
he's just some random alcoholic. He doesn't work there.
I would not be surprised.
He's just like a random meth head that came in. He's like, let me see if I can cook here.
No, like
He chews on a budget, so that's how he
he
gets
did not
high.
have. There was no uniform. There was
Yeah.
like he had like jeans and like a kind of ratty shirt and just a cowboy hat and a big beard. And he,
He
was
was
an old
probably
man.
he was probably testing the alkalinity of the water to see if he could cook meth with it.
And so after about 15 minutes of this ordeal, we're like, okay, we're just gonna go back to the room and see what it seems like. So we walk back. It's not gotten any
It's
better.
not better
It actually
at
may have gotten
all.
worse.
And so I literally have talked Shane into it. I'm like, Shane, go ask them for a new room. He's like, no, I don't want to do it. I was like, just tell them that it smells like someone smoked in here. It's not their fault. Like, just please give us a new room. So we go up there and ask. And then John,
Hey, not Dave.
Shout out. John was actually a very nice man.
yeah. He was like, oh, yeah, no problem. Shame on the people that were smoking in there. He's like, I'll get you a new room. So we go to our new room. We go to turn on the light. Well, first of all, it smells weird
And I'm
in
hit
there.
with a new musty
Like-
smell.
It's not the same smell, though.
It's different. It's a different smell. It smells almost as bad, but it's
Like
not
mustard inside gassgasoline, but not like mustard inside gasoline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never smelled it, but it
Pink.
could be. It could very well be what that smells like.
And then only one of the lights worked in there. And it was like,
It was the one by the door.
it was,
So
like,
like the whole room is actually very.
It was what?
it was like flickering, like, oh,
so now
Legit like horror stories.
yes.
I've been taken from dirty cigar room to musty no lights dark room, and with a pool that has a very soft bottom And I have decided I am no longer comfortable with staying in this place, no matter how much money I
So what do
spent
you,
on
so what
it.
do you do during that time? You call your mom.
I'm like, Mom, what do I do?
How much did you pay for the room?
$67.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what? We can make them feel a little bit better with remind them to a previous episode where you and I we did the vlog where we paid a lot of money for a hotel, which we didn't mention because we didn't want to get sued because they had the money to afford attorneys.
Hundreds of dollars
But-
per night.
Yeah, per night for a room where nothing worked and everything was wrong, and we paid a lot of money for it. So you know what? Look on the bright side.
Hey, the
It could have
TV
been worse.
The
It could
TV
have.
worked.
It did. Remember the power was out when I was
You know-
showering, and then
Are you serious?
I don't remember that. I must have been asleep or something, but
well, you weren't in the shower with me. That's for sure.
right, well,
It wasn't
you
as
know of.
much the not working as the smells that were coming from that different
how did it have
sections of the
4
hotel.
stars?
I don't know.
You know,
People
that's a good
must have
question.
lied.
I guess people like just have a quality of service that
Or
they're okay
some
with,
people,
and I
yeah.
just was not. Which is weird. You think coming from Southern Illinois that I would have a low bar of expectation, but apparently it was lower than that.
Dude, no,
because
from
there-
what you're saying, that is pretty, that's a low bar regardless.
Yes.
Like,
it was
Like,
even
what?
if you had your bar set pretty low, like, that's lower.
everyone else seemed decently happy except for the screaming.
Screaming throughout the night. Whoever the screaming throughout the night was coming from, they were not content.
So it wasn't good screaming.
They must have had the room that smelled like
no, she sounded like she was going to strangle someone.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, not that. I think the real problem though is like anytime you hear like loud Spanish, it kind of always sounds a little angry because I don't know what you're saying.
And it's fast.
It's like loud
so-
German too. It's like
And it's fast.
Well, German just sounds angry no matter what you say. You can
Even
say,
pillow talk
you,
would be
you
like-
can say it without smiling.
Nein, Schadayla. Du hast mich.
it sounds like it sounds like you're casting a spell.
Yeah, so we ended up going to a different hotel, and fortunately, on the first try, we walked in, and I'm like, oh. As soon as I walk in the lobby, I'm like, oh, this is what a hotel is supposed to smell like. Not strange. And I actually ended up telling the front desk lady, I'm like, yeah, we were down the road at this place.
She's
And
like,
she was
don't tell me.
She's like,
were you at a place that ends with N?
she's like, they're all bad. She's like, every single one. She's like, I'm so sorry.
Now you know there are going to be people watching this who are like, all right, what hotel's in an inn?
Yeah, it was perfectly fine for that. The jacuzzi was actually a jacuzzi tub. It did have jets, and it was bubbly, and it was hot, and I
Clean.
liked it.
And it smelled clean.
Yes,
not
everything
like
was
what, somebody
clean.
murdered.
There wasn't screams throughout the night.
No, there were no screams. I did not hear a single scream the entire stay.
You weren't nervous about each turn of the hallway, what it would smell like.
I don't understand. Like, even the connecting areas smell different than the hallway that they were connected to. I don't even know how that's possible.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it was very weird.
The whole trip is interesting, actually. Like,
So
it
happy
went-
another.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Glad
it
it worked out. Happy
It
ending.
really, I mean, there was just so much change for end to end. Like, we drove up there, it was pretty decent. Ended up having to pay $80 for just a campsite. That was
You did
interesting.
what?
$80 for
Oh,
the.
I thought you said something about baby birds that was very disturbing.
No, nothing about baby birds.
Okay.
Wow.
continue.
To my
Did you
knowledge.
check out?
Yeah.
On the other hand, I will say Lake Michigan is beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never seen it before. It's crystal clear. It looks like the Bahamas when you walk up to it. Like, it's like baby blue.
Huge,
Yeah, I saw
huge
the
sand dunes.
I saw the pictures and stuff that you guys sent.
Yeah.
Make sure you send those to me so I can put them up on the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. I mean, we ended up kayaking Sunday.
Yeah,
on
Sunday.
Sunday, and I was sitting in what had to have been 40 foot of water, and I could just see straight down to the bottom. It was really cool. You can see like the big boulders down there. It was really cold. Like, it's the kind of cold. I don't know how to explain it because normally, like,
It's
if you
not
get,
ice cold.
no, it was ice cold.
Well,
Well, excuse me.
Not literally, but okay. You know how like you get in the pool, right? And you get in, and it's cold when you get in, but eventually you get used to it. You're like, okay, this is all right. This is
Right.
fine. That water was so cold, like you're in it for an hour, and you're like,
you're
I'm
like,
still
it's
cold.
still pretty cold, but I'm just
still got
gonna.
goosebumps.
Kind
I
of
don't know
reminds
what's
me
happening.
of the biscuits gravy, but not biscuits gravy. Like,
Oh my God.
No, I
Similar
get
situation,
what you're
but-
saying. I think it's because it's natural water and it's coming from a cold source.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and like
Ooh.
the deeper you get, the colder it got. Like the top was 67. If you dive down, because I did a couple times and tried to grab things that she saw while she was snorkeling. Like she would go snorkeling around and be like, hey,
Why don't you go get it?
Can you go
I
touch
was
it? I'm like,
scared.
sure, I'll try.
you go
It got
touch
like
it?
colder down there.
could you imagine if that pool tester would have got a scoop of that water?
so cold.
But yeah, and then we ended up having getting this just made the whole trip awesome. We ended up the night of our anniversary. We went to this really awesome restaurant. It's called what was it called?
I think it's
McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's.
Taverna Tonelli, I believe.
Oh.
I believe that's how you say it.
I'll show it on the screen and somebody can.
It's probably not that at all.
You guys figure out on your own how to
It's like,
pronounce
what do
it.
they serve? They serve like an Italian biscuit and gravy.
No,
but
it
it's
was
not.
It's not.
You're gonna keep coming back to that.
It was rustic Italian. It says on the front, it said rustic Italian, so you were actually dead on. It was delicious. It was honestly, I mean,
I thought I was being stupid.
I really think
I did, yeah.
living here, you don't get to have those cool restaurant experiences like you do other places because I'd never been to a restaurant like that. Like it was the atmosphere was really cool. They had the big masonry, Italian style ceiling.
Candlelit, nice music playing.
It's like what you see in the movies.
Yes.
No, really was. The wait staff was awesome. I mean, it was honestly the best food I've ever had. It was, pricey, but it was really good. I even got her to eat a scallop.
Yeah, and I hate scallops.
And she doesn't hate scallops. She hates everything that comes from the sea.
Yes,
Anything
except
that
for
comes from
shrimp.
the water besides shrimp.
But no, it tasted good. And then Shane got this literally the best steak I've ever tasted in my whole
They're
life.
okay, our special, we have a 16-ounce ribeye. I'm like, yeah, you can give me that right now.
It was delicious.
And you said it was $45?
Yeah, it was a $45 steak.
But it was really good.
Maybe an expensive price for a meal, but for a hotel,
We care about food.
You can tell my priorities, so
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
I mean,
care where I sleep.
Well, technically, the food is going in your body. You're not going to eat the place you're sleeping.
you know.
But that ammonia smelling room, though, you could have been murdered
right.
in there. So, is that where you're going?
Yeah, a lot of things can go in your body, like knives and chemicals.
Frozen sausages,
Spiders.
But yeah, and our waitress was super nice. We told her, she asked us why we were there and all that stuff. And we were like, oh, it's our anniversary. Well, anyway, she gave us a free dessert and it was super cute.
Wow.
Yeah, it was delicious. It was
Super
really good.
nice.
It was like
What did it taste like? Describe it. Hold on. Describe it to me.
Okay. So it was round and it
All
had.
right, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Okay, great.
I mean, it was she said it was like a custard, but it was kind of gelatinous. It was not like Jello, gelatinous, but it was
Kind
That's
of
the
like
word of the
cream
day.
cheese.
kind of yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't say like cream cheese either.
I don't know.
Huh?
Lauren, is that you?
I knew it was a she.
That joke will make sense to the ones watching the video podcast, but just here again, that made no sense.
Oh, and
Okay, I'll get jalapeno.
on that. Oh yeah, never mind. I was gonna say something. Never mind. I don't know
Never
how to do
mind.
podcasts, so never mind.
I don't know
okay.
how to podcast.
Yeah,
But
continue.
anyway,
your
it
story.
was just super awesome. And the whole street it was on was had Christmas lights and cute, it's just adorable.
The whole street had Christmas lights.
Yes,
on it?
the whole downtown street had Christmas lights on the trees, and it just had what are you guys
You
doing?
continue.
An old town feel. It's just super.
However,
cute
we were told we were
and
we
charming.
were in the good part of town.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was a bad part
Yeah,
of
if you're
town.
gonna pay $45 for a
the
steak, you
waitress
better
did
be in
let
the
us
good part of
know
town.
in no uncertain terms that there were bad parts to the
Yeah,
town.
and
as
I'm
well.
pretty sure that's where our
hotel
hotel
was?
was, honestly. But I will say something good about that hotel. They said that we could get 15% off at Denny's across the street.
They did.
So
No, that was actually that was cool because they were like, yeah, there was a Denny's right next to it. They're like, yeah, you get 15% off. Show your hotel card. I'm like, oh, wow.
Okay, so I'm gonna break this down for the people who were trying to figure out where you were. So, 10 to 13 miles from the lake. The place ends in an N, and there's a Denny's right across the
And
street.
we can't say the name technically, but
We can, but we're not going to.
this way we're warning the people we care about, but yet we're not.
yeah.
I just like he's giving little bits at here and there, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to
No,
figure this out
if
too.
you find out what it is,
Don't
I
go there.
don't
Don't
do
go
not
I
do
feel
not
like,
go
unless
there.
you really like Denny's and you want a good deal.
Okay,
How much are you willing to?
Denny's is already kind of discount. Okay, I don't really know. I mean, I know they got the $5.99 meat lover slam. I don't think I need the 15% taken off that to stay at. Take out this name here.
It's To me, it reminds me like the game Clue. It's like a murder place, you know? Like that hotel just gives me that creepy vibe. And I bet they don't even have a deal with Denny's. They're just like, once you get checked in, like, okay, Edgar, go tell these people's name. Go tell when they go there, just take 50% off their bill. Go pay for it right now. You're like, okay, I'll be back.
Maybe he was a screaming Mexican woman. It was Edgar.
But he's got like 9 jobs. He's like, let me just get the bags in the room. I'll be here. Distract the master.
No, he's got to take the bags to the room, and then he's got to go test the pool water.
Yeah. He stops the way out.
He's putting on different disguises every time.
Oh, that's not good. He's just so overworked. It's probably a good hotel, but he's just so overworked. And they spend all their money on the Denny's things to try to get people in.
And they want him to do all the things in one night. And he's like, I can't do that and clean the rooms
I
too.
visualize, like, here's the history of the hotel, right? Here's what I see. I see you have a power plant and you have a hotel. And at one point in time, all the people that worked at the job, the power plant had an accident and exploded, right? And the people, when the toxic waste leaked in, the people that survived, they were mutated.
That's
and
what
they
was
couldn't go out in
underneath the
public,
lining
so
of
they
the
just
pool.
ran the hotel. And so, like, they were just kind of working together to try to make some money, and they're doing what they can, but everything gets mutated, and the water's dirty, and there's the history of that hotel.
You know, it's really funny.
Plot twist, Michael. You're actually onto something. There was a large power plant right
down the road from it.
There's another clue.
Michael has the inside scoop.
Yep.
13 miles from the lake. Ends
It's
in an
weird.
end.
It's weird how this always happens to me, where I'm like, this
Denny's
should be
right across the
so
street.
crazy, and you're like,
Power
actually.
plant down the road.
They're onto us. Shut it down. Yes, master.
We have to move location again.
He handles the website. He handles a website too. So nice.
That's why a lot of times it's mistyped. It's like,
That's why I asked
G-U-D deal. G-U-D-D-I-L-L. Comma. Good time.
When did this become a Russian bath? It's a good time. We promise.
No, it's good dill.
It's a good deal.
No, good dill.
Good deal.
Deal. Come to the hotel.
Nope.
No.
Come to the
I was
hotel.
hoping you'd stop me
ends
bef-
an end.
hotel, motel, holiday inn.
No
Where the
copyright.
water's green and nothing's clean. Come to the hotel starts with in.
Ends with end.
It ends.
One
It starts
thing-
and ends. with
I was
end.
about to put a stop to your song, but then I was like, okay, it's actually pretty good.
One thing you will find is they're really kind.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean that was correct. I was looking over here to expecting to see Michael actually like taking notes on topics or something, but it's just a drawing of ice cream.
He does doodle while
I
we're
do
doing
doodle,
this.
yeah. Ice cream, bird dumping, a mouse, candle in the wind, a comet.
Hey man, gotta get your brain rolling.
Yeah, it's the ADHD. I gotta.
You gotta
I mean, you also have a gumball dispenser
You gotta
that's
hold it
empty
up.
right next to you.
Well, when I was
Hey,
looking a moment
you gotta
ago,
hold it up so I can get a picture of it.
just no.
No.
This isn't good enough.
Let me censor
They
this.
deserve better.
Well,
I'll
no,
get rid of
I've-
the candle in the wind.
I've got to show him what it was that you were talking about.
Then I'll keep the mouse, the bird dumping, and the ice
He
cream.
just scribbled like half the stuff out.
They deserve better than. It's just got to make sense, Rob,
Does any of that
Got
make
him.
sense?
to me.
That's fair.
But yeah, that was our awesome trip.
That was all of it. Did you ever go camping?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we did go. I mean, most of our actual camping.
They were already in danger in the wild, so there was animals in the hotel. So in a way, yes.
Okay, there was something that tried to eat my sack of potatoes that I left outside. It did gnaw through the sack.
Was it Edgar?
It could
That
have.
was Edgar's little buddy.
Yes, I found some potatoes.
Edgar Jr., come on, it's not yours.
No, he's got a kid. Now Edgar has a kid.
Well, it only nibbled on like a very small portion. I guess it must have decided the raw potatoes wasn't really its thing because it really only ate like that much of the potato, and then it just went away. I don't know if it's a raccoon. Amanda says it's a bear.
Yeah, it was probably a bear. That's
I feel
what I
like-
said.
I feel
Why did you have a bag of potatoes? Like,
Because they gotta
Because
eat.
you gotta. I mean, you eat while you're
Cook it in
camping
the
as well.
fire.
okay.
Yeah.
Onions, peppers.
Yeah, you just chop it. I mean,
potatoes.
like you just put it.
Dude,
on-
he's all about camping for real. Like when we go camping, it's like I got an RV with a stove and a microwave, and I got leftover McDonald's that I can heat up. He's like, I got to forage
That's
for
more my
myself.
style. I'm trying to culture myself to their
No,
way
yeah,
of
you
doing
get
things.
like it was actually really nice that we had dinner that night. I mean, to be honest, a lot of the camping trip is spent at grocery stores, which we were trying to. Okay, when I figured out north, I had
Foraging.
I'm taking notes for me and Hey Girl because this just sounds like something to me.
So I figured out up north, for whatever reason, I had to drive like 20 minutes to find a Walmart. I don't know if Walmarts are scarce in the north. They're definitely not in the south, because every time I go south, I can identify a Walmart. I know where stuff is. I understand a Walmart. They have these other things.
What was it called?
Struck Van and Till?
Yeah, Struck Van and Till.
I don't know what it was. It was
really
a grocery
weird.
store.
It had a whole section of organic. Like half of the store is organic.
We don't care about
stuff.
organic in the south. It's all organic.
Yeah, I was gonna say technically all your food that you eat is organic.
Literally, and it like
Don't ruin it for the. Come on, there's people still buying that propaganda.
Everything is organic.
Well, anyway, so it took forever to find.
Everything has really weird names.
Not to eat,
All
to
the
grocery
stores,
shop.
all the big grocery stores had really weird names. Like there was like a Major. Is that what it was? It was like MEI with like a double dot above it, JER.
So it's German?
Not sure.
I don't speak German. It was some kind of language. I
Michael
think
does.
it's called Major.
Go ahead, Michael.
9.
No, Edgar does.
Edgar does. Yeah.
You said
like-
MEIJER?
There's like a Jewel Osco or something like that.
Osco.
Okay, listen. The only thing that I actually could understand was, okay, there's a Walmart like 20 minutes
Oh, it
away.
doesn't have two dots. It has a dot above the I and a dot above the J. I'm looking at it right here.
There are two dots. I was
Yeah,
not
but
wrong.
not above the I.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got two little blue dots.
Well,
You know what? Whatever, Rob.
You know what?
We don't. It doesn't have to be true.
I was just curious about it. It doesn't have to be true.
Just let me lie. So we had to actually spend a lot of time doing that, because like if you ever like walked into okay, this even happens when I go to Walmarts that I don't know. Like you ever walked into a Walmart and it's like all rearranged in a way that's not like your local Walmart, and you're like,
it's
I don't
so
know where anything is.
annoying.
They're supposed to have store plans, like layouts.
Oh, here we go.
I won't even
What's that?
say that the two.
Planogram. They're supposed to have all the same plan.
Well, it's
That's
not.
Hey Girl, for those of you who don't know. She's running the camera.
So, like, I won't say that to make the comparison, but there's between the two towns that we live between, there's two Walmarts, and their layout is the opposite.
Yeah,
The only thing that's
it
the same
is.
is the pharmacy. That's the only thing that's the same.
Dude, he's angry.
He's very passionate.
Two-fisting
Well,
it.
when I got 40 minutes
Rob.
to get home and also get my Oreos, you know what I mean?
Rob, it wouldn't matter to you because you get your stuff delivered to
And
you.
you never go into a store,
If-
so
You don't have to experience the disorganization and the fear that you get when you walk into a Walmart and you don't know where anything is. You're like, how am I going to find what I need to survive if I don't know where it's at? When you have the grocery that I'm supposed to be on the right, it's been on the right my whole entire life, that I try to go and it's on the left. And I don't know where any of the aisles are on the left, and you've disorganized
This
it.
isn't Oreos, this is cat food. I'm not going to eat this crap. Now you got to add 8 minutes of it. So they literally stole from you
I got scared.
your time.
I was
Right?
genuinely terrified for my life. I didn't know if I was going to be able to find any of the potatoes I needed, and yeah, it was bad.
Talk about a fist fight I almost got into with this woman, right? Because I hate fake kindness, man. Ooh, do I hate
Hashtag
it.
story time, everybody.
Right? And I'm not knocking Walmart here or all general employees because a lot of them I like. I get along with that. Talk a lot. So I told this one woman here, she just didn't know how to engage the customer, right? And one, I refuse to be part of the system, right? So like we get there, and because of a certain time and cost efficiency or whatever the reason may be, she's like, "Hey, the self checkout lane's open," and I'm like, "No,
No.
unless you're
Did
gonna
you say it like that?
Oh yeah. I was like, no. I was like, unless you're gonna discount my stuff or pay me to work here, I'm not gonna ring up my own stuff. I was like, I want to engage with people, and I don't want to work here. Not that there's nothing wrong with it, there's anything wrong with it, but if I do, I get paid for it. Nobody that works, you ask them, hey, you want to do this for free? A little extra time, kind of, No, I don't. I want you to do it. I want you to pay people, and this is all part of the plan. But like, look at the whole. Like checking your receipts when you come out the door. Not every Walmart does this.
I saw that recently, yeah.
Oh, they always check me.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing: is that this poor kid, man. All right. Ooh. So, but that lady, she's like, I got to finish where I was at with the lady. The lady's like, sir, you guys like, yeah, I know I can, but I won't. She's like, okay, sir. And that was it. But I was just like, yeah, I know, but no, I'm not. I'm staying my ground, So anyway, but not every Walmart does, but there's this one in particular that does it from time to time, and I serve my country. I'm a valuable citizen. I pay my taxes, But I know it's like an old man, but gosh darn it. When I leave the store and I got a cart, so he goes, can I see your receipt?
I have rights.
He's like, no, you can't. You cannot see my receipt. Like, but what you can do is get out of my way and stop wasting my time. You already changed stuff around, cat food's where the Oreos are at, and you're gonna turn around, make me check out my own stuff and work here for slave labor, pay full price and stuff, and now you're gonna check my integrity to make sure I didn't steal from you? No, sir, you can move out of the way. Excuse me, I got cat food and Oreos to bring home. Wasted enough of my time here, guys.
He couldn't actually find them in the right spot, so he just got bowls.
I was gonna say, so
Well,
when
the
you
guy
found-
looks at me, the guy goes, okay, sir. Because he knows you don't have the authority to detain me. If he does, bring it, bro. You know what I mean?
I know my
I'm already
rights.
back from self-checkout all the way here. I'm still carrying that anger.
Sir, am I being detained?
Here's the thing. I love Walmart. I love them. They take care of some of my needs. They make life better. But just like any good relationship you have with the store or person, you got to make it stop, Walmart. Make it stop.
Can you imagine if you were walking out the door, right, and that guy stopped you? It's just like some random, like, 40-year-old guy.
I was willing to fight for this
No,
cause.
that's what I'm saying. So here's the thing. He goes, sir, I can't let you leave. I have to detain you. And you're like, listen, I fight prisoners for a living. And then he's like, oh, yeah, you can go.
Go ahead.
You better get ready, bro.
And to add it on like the self-checkout thing, to be honest, I mean, they got me on that. I'm antisocial. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to get my groceries. And if that means that I can avoid the whole process of having to look somebody in the face and actually talk to them about my groceries, and I can just scan them and leave, then I
gonna say
do it
something
every
bold.
time. Go for it.
As a patriot of this country, you're anti-social, my friend, and that's okay, that's you. But I'm anti-socialism, and you're not going to take my rights away for the comfort of others. It ain't happening. Sorry. It ain't happening.
That's fair. No.
America. I love you, America. And that means the poor, the middle class, and the upper class. If it takes some of us to sacrifice their moments of comfort, their lives, but, you know, I'll do it for America.
Well,
but I won't do it to conform to their slavery. I'll break the shackles of Walmart right now.
See, well, her parents
Feels so
say
good.
I can
say
see a
like the
former
same
slave
thing.
out there being like,
Yeah.
you're comparing
Like-
checking out your own groceries to slavery.
No, that's how it starts. It's right by right. Think about it. I'm not saying we're there. I'm saying it's how it starts. Is one right. Once you sacrifice
Yeah,
one
take
right,
them-
they push towards
They
another.
take them away slowly.
Yeah, you gotta be like, hey, you know what? No, sorry. Unless you're gonna take 30 cents off my Oreos, unless we got discount and stuff checkout, no, ain't doing it.
No.
Are you relating a self-checkout to the takeover of a tyrannical government?
Absolutely, it starts there. Look deeper in your history, man. Look deep. It always starts somewhere small, and the hero is always some patriot. It's like, you know what? No,
I'm not going to check out my own groceries.
yeah, I won't check out my own groceries. No, you won't look into my cart. Why don't you look into your own souls?
So how do you feel
And
about
see
me with having my groceries delivered?
You do what you do, bro.
Okay, but listen. I think that actually opens up a good point of conversation because that's providing someone a employment.
Yep.
So that's okay. But I think
And
he
no
has an
one's
issue with-
challenging you on your rights to slow you down to do
Well-
something you didn't come there to do.
In fairness,
That's
no one's
true.
ever asked me to use the self-checkout.
Oh, it's happened to me, bro.
How often does this happen?
Only a couple times.
Do they just
But-
not
but-
want to talk to you? Is that why?
Well, usually they're
like,
nice.
oh man, it's that guy again.
No, normally they do it because they're told to do it. They're programmed to do it. No, but seriously, they're told to do it, right? And so they're just doing their job, right? But when this lady was like, sir, you know you can't. Yes, I know of my capabilities. I know that I have the ability to go to that aisle, but I refuse. Yes, there's 3 people in front of me, but I'm going to talk to this employee, and I'm not going to go do extra work and mess up when that thing just like, oh, sorry, it doesn't match the weight. Put it in back. No, I won't. I'm going to hand it to you.
then
You're going to handle it. I'm going to give you my money for the service you did. You're going to give me my change. I'm going to walk out that door. I'm not going to have my integrity insulted. I'm going to go home, eat my Oreos, and feed my cats. Amen.
Amen.
Drop the pen.
Yeah.
There's going to be some
Pin
nice.
dropped.
So there's going to be some really nice patriotic music behind
Yeah.
that playing in the background.
Please go back with the waving flag.
I would, but I don't feel like
just
rotoscoping all
brought
that
you.
out. I don't feel like rotoscoping out the background.
In short, there's a lot of feelings about Walmarts and grocery shopping in general.
Yeah, coming from that side of the table.
Listen, when you invest your heart into something,
Like
know what I mean?
Walmart.
Well, you have to.
I'll understand.
Don't you care about your food, Rob?
Yeah,
Don't you
I
care?
order like the high quality food and stuff, and I eat that
Right.
stuff.
So if you were confused about where to get your high quality food, which again, you don't have a problem because they just bring it to you. But if you had to go and obtain that for yourself, scavenge, one might say. I scavenged on our camping trip for my groceries because I didn't know where they were.
Scavenge for my groceries.
He traded a potato to eat over for
That's how bad it is, though. It took me like a whole entire hour
was Edgar.
to find what would normally take
Sorry,
me
Edgar.
20 minutes.
You said an hour?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We were in there for an hour.
Yeah, just because everything was.
Is it
I
like-
don't know where it is.
Is it like Costco? You got to walk
we
from one side to the other.
looked-
We looked for eggs for 10 minutes.
Yes, no,
You
20
know they're
minutes
in the
maybe.
dairy section.
No, they weren't. They were not in the dairy
Because
section.
there's an organic
There was even a
section.
breakfast section, and they weren't in the
What
breakfast
if?
section.
Okay, conspiracy theory.
Were they in the chicken section?
What if?
No.
This is my storytelling thing coming here. What if Walmart had nothing to do with it? It's sabotage by spy sent in by Target.
Sabotage.
They're coming in and they're hiding these things, like, you know what I mean, during the mid shift. And Walmart's like, we got to make this stop. And it's like the Russian Target people or whatever. I don't know. Like, I don't even know why I said that. Sorry, Russia. But you're sitting there. I'm just trying to connect some conspiracy theories to these. But you have like Target employees coming in, right? Mm-hmm. And
Moving display.
and look at Target. First of all, Target refused to support the troops. No, I won't go into political stuff. But anyway, so Target comes in, right? And Walmart represents freedom, except for they've been infiltrated. And that's the ones checking the door. The guy checking the door probably doesn't work at Walmart. Probably Target employee just come in, stand at the door, just change like, hey, we gotta check the groceries. You're a thief, probably.
He's an
And then-
independent contractor.
Yeah. And they're coming in, they're hiding the eggs under the garden tools and stuff, and just like watch Walmart as the victim in this, and they're trying to turn Target is trying to turn us against Walmart. If that's true, Walmart, subscribe.
You know what? That would
Dude,
make
Walmart
sense.
starts following us. I would be so surprised.
That would make
Put us in a
sense
commercial.
because
Take it on Target in battle.
before we went on vacation, and I don't know why I'm corroborating this theory because
What?
it's definitely
Corroborating.
Okay.
not correct. But before we went on vacation camping trip /
Hotel excursion.
that, we were trying to find charcoal. And we searched all through Walmart, and there was no charcoal to be found. I looked everywhere. I looked in the aisles that should have charcoal.
I'm beginning to think that you don't know how to grocery shop.
Yeah.
I grocery shop just fine. I'm a well-fed man. I find my food.
I'm just gonna say this as a Walmart supporter, you know. And don't get me wrong, I don't want the anti small because I am very small business. Everybody knows I'm capital, so I won't go into it. But I believe in but I also believe that if they're here, then we should support them in a way and work together, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say this much, but I believe that we should be honest with them, just like in a relationship with my wife. I'm not gonna tell my wife, hey girl,
Hey,
just
hey,
keep
girl.
doing things I don't disagree with. We have to work these things out. Well, Walmart, we do have to work this out with you, right? Thing is that you've always been good to me. You've always been there for me. You've always had the
true.
special limited edition Oreos. You've always had everything that I need.
Amen.
And more than the other competitors, right?
Praise be.
Testify.
But, however, Walmart,
You got to put in the, however, Walmart.
in this relationship, however, in this relationship that we have, because we do, I put a lot of time and money into you.
He's
You
talking about
gotta
Walmart, not
yeah.
me.
You got to stop the challenging my integrity at the door that might be stealing, and you got to stop no matter how bad it gets. Then people, you can't take if you're going to lose money. You made money because of how convenient, how much you've appealed to us because you guys have the right idea. You have good marketers and you have good people that know how to make you money and appease us. Good job. But the door guy, make it stop, and the self checkout stuff, keep the option open where people want to be served at your store and not serve you guys.
There's like 90
For
checkout lanes and like not even one of them's open anymore.
No, there's like 5.
And it depends on the
No,
community and the Walmart you're at, population.
The person
and
checkout ones.
Yeah, so I'm saying there's like 5 open out of like 70.
Oh, whenever I go there, usually if I do have to go there, it's like 1
But
or
I'll
2 in the
close on
morning.
this,
Yeah,
there's
okay,
none of
that's
them open.
different.
and then we'll get off Walmart's butt. But I just want to say this much: you got to make it stop. From one of your loved customers, make it stop.
We love you.
We love you.
Okay, moving on
Yeah, next
from
topic.
there. Moving on from there. Michael, I want you to tell me, because we just tried to go on that topic before. I just got scared about my grocery shopping. So what is camping to you? What do you do when you camp? Does Michael camp?
Michael does camp.
Okay.
So
If you're in a transported building, it's not camping. It's
no,
just
no.
moving your home.
See, at one time I went with her family camping. I tried to teach them how to frog gig. That's a story in itself.
Frogging is really fun.
Yeah, too bad that was before.
Not for the frogs that are being murdered.
Well,
You got me there.
But more of the camping we've done here, it's more like sitting out and then going on trails or whatever. The camping, and if I may say this, can I tell the story real quick? Okay, so
He's asking Hey Girl for permission.
me living in San Diego, even in Southern Illinois, I'm not really the most redneck guy. I'm not really skilled in
Bushcraft.
bushcraft. However, I do admire. I think they're valuable skills. But I wouldn't. I do have some experience, right? Well, this is before my Christian not drinking, not getting high days, and so I was like, I'm going to teach you guys how to go frog gigging because we're out in the middle of some nature somewhere really far away. Like, yeah, this country boy's going to teach them. Like, this is my chance to show off, right? I'm going to show them how to live in the wild, right? So. They're like, hey, you want to drink this beer? I'm like, I don't know if I should, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I'll drink. So I got really drunk, and the one guy's like, hey, you should smoke this weed. I feel like that show, Wal-Mart. And I'm like,
weed.
well, I don't know. I don't really, okay.
Okay.
And so I did a lot of both. I'm like, I kind of like this, kind of like the government.
I think we call that crossfaded. Is what you're talking about.
I was like, then I felt this sense of empowerment. And I'm like, let's go hit the trails. And we started crafting these frog gigs. And
Which is basically just a sharp stick.
Yeah. Well,
No, it has to have a bar.
It has to, and a prong.
it has to have
It's
a
like we
bar.
were just making them. They were just so awful. Like, and I was just so confident. Remember, like her and the particular friends of the family that we were with. We were going down the trails and we're like trying to gig frogs. Like, do you hear that? Is that? And I was trying to sound cool. Like, you hear that? I was like, that's a water frog. That's a water frog. I was like, everybody head west, and then I like lead them east.
They're
right?
like, which way is west?
40 kilometers southwest.
So like, hold on, guys, let me smell the ground. And they're like, wow, this guy knows his stuff. I'm just like really high. And then I ended up like throwing up because I got the spins because I wasn't used to doing those two things, like especially together. And I was just like, ugh. And I was like, you just have to go on without me. So they went up trying to get frogs without me. I don't think they got anything at all. But yeah, so that's camping with me.
Normally, whenever you're going to gig frogs, you usually want to buy the gigs because frogs are squirrely.
Yeah, well,
They're squirmy and squirly.
I think actually one of the girls killed a baby frog by accident.
Those don't either.
So she was the only one that got a kill. If I remember correctly. I don't know, it's hard to remember. It was real shiny because
Rampage.
like I said, I like to clarify me
Triple
now.
threat.
As a dad, I want to be a responsible father here. As a good Christian dad, I don't get high or drink anymore or get drunk. But those are our younger dating days. But that was a camping kind of like experience. But a lot of times it's us getting marshmallows and some wieners and sitting over the fire and roasting them and just me telling dad jokes, and
Wholesome.
just building those memories, not with potatoes or
Listen, you got to upgrade your
we do our own
cooking,
thing.
your campfire cooking skills.
Yeah, campfire potatoes, bro. You know that?
No, okay, listen. I did. It was real
It's like
simple.
you
It's
got to
like-
make like a product that comes as like campfire potatoes. It's in a bag.
And Walmart didn't have them. They had regular potatoes, but they didn't have campfire potatoes.
The campfire potatoes are just in like a thicker canvas bag.
It will intrigue you. I
They're
did make.
fire retarded. Sorry.
The fire made them dumb.
I did make cheeseburgers. I know you're interested in cheeseburgers.
I'm interested. We should go camping now.
Bro, if you can, I'll tell you what. If you
We'll
can,
choose the location though, but you choose.
if you can bake a cake while you're camping, then I will be impressed.
Give me a Dutch oven. I
will give it straight up. Give you a Dutch oven.
Oh my gosh! Let's
let me
figure this out. We'll
clarify.
make a containment device and let's do it. Let's make a cake camping our next trip.
That'd be awesome.
Do it.
That's what I said. You can use it.
We'll do a vlog. We'll
A
do
Dutch
it.
oven,
Yes.
not the kind Rob is referring to, but a Dutch oven. It's a type of like
Cookware.
pan pot thing. You can
Cookware.
you can definitely cook you can bake a cake inside of it. I
You can
guarantee
cook
it.
a cake, everybody.
You can cook a cake. I mean,
It's a piece of cake. to
Grandma
bake a
making
cake.
beef stroganoff in that house.
is baking cooking?
I mean, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it
That's
falls.
cooking
I
and
think it
they're-
falls under the category of cooking.
Yeah.
I had to be close.
Well, there's just one more thing I want to talk about our trip. Shane was traumatized because he's just sitting here walking around. Oh, nice. Yeah, good one.
Bless you.
He's just walking around and
Where
he
is this?
like at the campground and he says like hi or excuse me or does
Oh,
the head
man.
nod thing that guys do.
So
Yeah, he's traumatized because they wouldn't even, those people up there wouldn't even look at him, wouldn't acknowledge him, nothing, like literally no social skills.
So okay, you're pretty well traveled.
yes.
So you probably know what I'm talking
I
about.
do.
So in Southern Illinois, or at least in the South.
Which is actually the north. So Illinois is in the north.
Yeah, it's like right in the
We're
middle.
actually,
I
we're
feel
actually
like
above the
we're
age.
in
right
the
in the
north
middle of the
south.
country.
Like we're actually north, but we think we're south. So it's the same thing.
I'm from Houston, Texas. That's the South.
I know. Okay. But here's the thing. Okay. There's this thing whenever you're sitting with any, it could be one person, it could be three people. You don't sit in silence. You say hi. You exchange some pleasantries. You just.
You acknowledge
small
their
talk.
existence.
Eye contact.
These people, and this is why I noticed the whole time that we were up there, the whole time we were up
Punch your
there.
microphone. It's fine.
If you were standing with somebody, they wouldn't even look at you. They literally just stand and just not acknowledge your presence, like you weren't even existing. And it just made me crazy because my whole entire life, because I've grown up here and I've never left here my whole life, besides for like vacations, I've never had this happen to me. It's like they just like stood. We were all sitting for the bathroom. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning.
You're all sitting in the bathroom?
No, we're sitting outside of the
That's
bathroom.
why they think you're weird.
We're
because
waiting. We're all
You join
together.
them in the bathroom. They don't even look at me. I'm sitting next to the
We're all
Making
standing.
fart noises and everything. They can't even look at me.
We're all standing outside the bathroom. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and you would think a whole bunch of early risers would have something in common, but we're all just standing there. There's three of us, and we're all just staring at the bathroom. I walk up. The guy to my left, the first one closest to me, didn't even acknowledge my presence. He's just like, I just walk up and he's still like, so I'm sitting here looking at him expectantly, waiting, like a head nod, like a, hey, good morning. Nothing. Silence. Non-acknowledgement. So I start looking at him crazy, start doing this thing. I'm like, and so I sit there for a couple seconds. I'm like, okay. Now look at him again. He's still not looking at me. So I'm just staring. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to try to, obviously it's a cultural difference. I'm like, okay, I'm going to accept it for what it is. So I try to stare at the bathroom. I make it about 30 seconds. And so I look at him again. He still isn't looking at me.
Now you want him to explain to you, sir, what is it about me?
No,
Turns out he's deaf and blind.
It's like, here's the jerk. He's like,
Sir, why are you not looking
you
at
finally
me?
get his attention, you flip him off. He's like, this must be a cultural difference in his mind because he can't say anything.
No, so I look at the other guy, and there's another guy that's probably 10 feet away from that guy. So I start looking at him. I'm like, please, just look at me back. Nothing. He's still staring. I look at him again. He's still not. I'm becoming anxious and worried at this point, and I am so far beyond my comfort zone because I'm so used to I'm driving down the street. I don't even know who you are. I wave because that's just what you do, and they say, back. I don't even know who you are. It doesn't matter if I know who
place
you
is
are.
unique, bro.
Or at least just we can just talk about something. How can you just sit in silence with other people there for an extended period of time and just not talk? It's like they weren't even breathing. It's like they were statues. They're just
I always do
and then
that.
the bathroom would open and they would just walk towards there and not look at anybody.
There's just certain
Robots.
interactions people are used to having, others aren't. And that's the thing about America is it's a melting pot of all these cultures. So in one area, if you have area, especially a small area, people don't communicate for 50 years with other parts of people, but they do a lot with each other. They develop their own microculture, right? Micro, not microculture.
I thought you said Michael culture. I'm like,
That'd be the best one, bro. No,
somebody's a little
the
conceited.
whole town just
Yeah.
full of Michael.
Yeah, that's when they're really cool, but that's, yeah. No, but I've had it to where I'd even just say hi to a female passing by, right? Because they're passing your path, and I'm married. I'm like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
You're literally
said hi.
trying to get through, and I'm saying, excuse me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's people some people just don't socialize in that way unless it's necessary because they have a routine, right? And they're not used to and there's a lot of reasons for it. But I even had it's funny how miscommunication can be directed in so many ways. I was in some part of Tennessee, and it's crazy how different parts of Tennessee are so different, right? Just even in the U.S. alone. And I remember going to the gas station, I was talking to this guy, and me and him could not figure out for the life of me what the other one was trying to say at all. And he goes, and he's like, man, you kind of talk I'm like, bro, it's just because, some places really like their vowels. They're like,
You say vowels?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
I want to make sure you didn't say bowels.
Yeah, vowels. Well, I mean, yeah. But they're like, hey, I love you, right? they
don't close their mouth when they talk.
But a lot of it's because they have patience because they're not in the city. They're not rushed,
Here's one
And
you've
some
heard
of them,
before.
some of them just the people in the city they just hate saying the whole words because they're so rushed. Like I said, I lived in California for a long time. I noticed that a lot of people they're too lazy with words, or they got to get it out. I mean, I shouldn't say lazy, but they're like instead of saying, "Hey, man, that's legitimate. It's a legitimate point." They're like, "That's legit." It's just saying, "For sure, I'll go."
Or
like,
avail.
Yeah.
Are you avail?
Yeah. So saying, "For sure, I'll go." Like, "For sure." I'm like, You know, but there's a lot of these cultures, and if you talk to a lot of them, they think that we talk funny.
Now it's you want to go somewhere? Yeet.
Yeah,
Yeet.
I guess that's yes.
but you know what I'm saying? But they get so used to them, we're weird. It's it's fun to go out there and kind of see how, you know, because your perception of yourself is different than how they're perceiving you and people in your own community perceive you. And that's how you get
I was disturbed.
Yeah.
It genuinely bothered me.
So it's kind of it's almost like you guys were standing in an elevator waiting for the bathroom.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just like I'm so used to at least someone just saying hi or like,
Or man, he's taking a long time.
Yeah.
right, something.
What do you think of them door handles?
And so actually I got back and like on the way back to the tent, I had someone pass by me and they're like, good morning. I'm like, yes, hi people. I'm like, you actually said something. And I got back and I finally decided, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to what's the word? Like adhere to this guideline that's obviously been set forth. I'm going to do what I normally do. And if I get with somebody and they're not talking,
You're gonna get with
Rejection
them.
happens. It's like I said hi to 57 people. I counted. You know how many said hi back?
1.
3. And all 3 were camping from out of the area.
No, actually, the guy next to us, we actually had a conversation like back and forth, and we were talking later. And the whole time I'm thinking, okay, I really don't think this guy's local because he actually talked to me. He actually looked at me whenever I was sitting next to him. And finally, we get to the part of the conversation. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm from Southern Illinois." He's like, "Oh, I'm from Collinsville. Yeah, we're pretty much neighbors." I'm like, it all makes sense.
Same area as you, though, not same area as the people from that culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from the same area. Yeah. So I mean, it made a lot of sense. But yeah, I was genuinely disturbed. Because
So see, whenever I get in situations like that, it reminds me of the time that I went to the hospital and I wasn't in the hospital. I was visiting somebody and I was in an elevator, and there's like me, and I'm there with 2 other people, and then there's like 5 other people in the elevator. And you know how when you get in an elevator, you're supposed to like face the door. Not me.
face the back.
I'm facing everybody else. I'm standing off to the side, and I'm the only one facing the right. Everybody else is facing forward. So I'm like, everybody's sitting in there, like just looking at the floor, like just being awkward. And I'm like,
howdy.
I'm like, so how's everybody doing? And they all just started laughing. And then I thought about it, and I was like, wait a minute, this is a hospital. It's going to be really bad.
How are you doing that?
So I was like, how's everybody doing? But yeah, that's me, man. If I'm in an awkward situation, I will find a way to break the tension. That's me. But it was really weird when you're in an elevator, because then you're like, I don't know when the door's going to open.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, there's certain times and places, man. Yeah.
I always do it at the wrong time too, man. I have the bad timing, and like I say dumb stuff every once in a while, and it's like kind of inappropriate, but that's just what I'm thinking at the time.
You just get so worked up about saying something like, hey, does anyone like pies? Pies. Favorite pies, anyone?
And then everybody's just like freaked out a little bit, just staring at me like, why is this guy talking about pie?
Like your conscience is like Edgar. It's slow, but it means well.
Yeah, that's actually a very, very good explanation of it. It's slow, but it means well. That's how I am about stuff. So was that it? How did your I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Overall.
Yeah,
you want to
overall.
give like an overall rating?
Yeah, and if you're done with your story, I don't want to.
I think so. I mean, I can't really think of anything else that happened that was huge. If I gotta take off points for the hotel, but I think I have to add some back in because it got better. So all that taken into account, I give it like an 8.5.
He gives
8.5 out of
everything
10?
an 8.5.
That's not true.
It is.
The second
are you
hotel,
an
not the
8.5?
first one, right?
No. I'm saying
whole
the trip as a
overall.
whole.
Oh, the
I took
trip.
off points for the first hotel being bad. So I'm giving the whole thing an 8.5 out of 10.
How many points got taken off because of the bear or the badger or whatever nibbled on your?
Well, it was only one potato,
Potatoes.
which was probably like maybe 50 cents. And then if you take off how much it took off the potato, it may have amounted to like 3 cents. So that took off precisely 0.0025 points.
Oh, but do you even consider the anti-Wal-Mart, the one that was like all backwards and?
Yeah, that one took off a whole point. Actually, the hotel was only half a point. The Walmart was much worse.
Because he didn't trust the hotel when we got there. He trusted Walmart.
And they let him down. And they let him down.
I loved you.
And you wronged me. What about you?
Oh, sorry.
What about you?
I would give it I'd give it a 9 because although like it was kind of like bad things happened, it was still fun though.
Yeah, once it got better, it was like
Yeah.
it boosted it real quick. So
Yeah.
you have exponential growth whenever you're like having it starts out bad, but then once it gets good, you're like, all right, it's gonna skyrocket.
Yeah.
Him was
You're
like, here's
just
the
like-
points. It's all going down
Yeah.
from here.
Well, my expectations should always start at a 10. I should never think it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
That's true. Unless, yeah, especially with a 4-star rating.
But
Yeah.
you can always add points back,
True.
changing the value of what hit you, right?
Yeah, because it's your rating system.
Like, this is the hardest I've ever been hit in my life. But this one hit you way harder. Like, you know what? Now that 10 hit was only a 6. I've been hit a lot harder now. You know what I mean? It's your rating system, bro. You can...
I mean, for instance, I didn't even take off points for the fact that, I mean, the one beach we actually went to on Saturday, which is the first time we actually got to go to a beach, there had to have been 400 people there. At the very least, every single bit of sand was completely filled up, and there was multiple old men in Speedos, and I didn't even take off points for that. I went ahead and just put that to the
actually a
wayside.
sign that you're in a good place.
And that adds points.
Yeah.
That adds
That's
points.
actually a tell sign. If you see a bunch of old men in Speedos, yes, it's visibly not pleasing. However,
That means there's money in the area.
It means they retired there or nearby.
Make it rain.
Or people with money wanted to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, it's a good sign.
We also saw a very short
So
lady.
gag
with a
and
hat.
move on.
A very short lady with a hat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she had to have been like 4 or 5.
Wait, what?
Okay,
Out of 10?
So on the way out, out of 10,
let's rate
yeah.
it.
On the way out, and I think this is how I'm going to close our story.
Okay, good.
This is how I'm going to close our story. On the way out of that beach where there was 400 people, we're trying to leave, and what do I spy
With my
in
little
the
lie.
distance? In my little eye, it's a woman who is no taller than 4'5" with a fedora on.
So Amanda's height. Amanda's height then,
I'm
right?
5'2", thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So on a scale from 1 to Ryan Gosling, how do you rate the trip?
How do you rate the fedora?
The fedora.
How do I rate the fedora? Actually, it was a very nice.
Hashtag Ryan Gosling. Tag him in this, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Just that
because we mentioned him-
my man hero, my favorite actor.
Just because we mentioned him at the end, you're like, go ahead and tag him.
Yeah.
Tag
I
him.
actually that really doesn't mean that. There served no purpose for me even throwing that in there, except for me just to be able to mention,
should
so I can
be-
say hashtag Ryan Gosling and
That should be our rating system going forward. Is like on a scale from 1 to Ryan Gosling, because mine is on a scale from 1 to Penguin. The one for Just Plain Nonsense should be on a scale
Ryan
from
Gosling
1 to
is
Ryan Gosling.
far beyond a penguin.
It depends on the penguin.
No, it doesn't.
Are we talking about the penguin from Happy Feet? Like,
Unless
that's
Ryan
crazy.
Gosling surgically
Became a penguin.
became a penguin, then you can do
That's
that.
so
That's
scary.
a very disturbing.
Then you raise the level.
That's when we call him Batman.
I just imagine like a penguin body with Ryan Gosling's head on it.
I'm okay with this.
I'm not. I'm really.
You know who else
not.
would be okay with it? Every other male penguin there. People like flippity flap.
And the
flippity flap.
female penguins would be cool with it too.
Yeah, they're like, whoa,
I'm gonna get me some of that penguin.
give me the eggs.
All right, so tell us your
Okay.
story before we got way sidetracked.
Okay, I'm gonna end it here with my ratings. Fedora on the tiny lady. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I did not like the fabric. The design was good. Didn't like the fabric.
I respect
Okay.
that.
The hotel, the first hotel, I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 10. It did have water,
It was contaminated. It was there.
but it was there. And Amanda at one point thought she had some kind of strange rash from it on her hand.
How do you rate the rash?
I would rate the rash a 5 out of 10. It did end up going away, but
okay.
it was there for
It's
a time.
still here.
I love you seeing the silver lining in all these things. The water, it was there. It was dirty. She got a rash, but it did go away.
The second hotel, I'm going to go ahead and throw in the restaurant in there. I will give that a 10 out of 10. That was the best food I've ever had in my life.
It wasn't Denny's.
I mean,
No, it was that.
I mean, it
Italian
wasn't like
place.
Denny's
Taverna
level.
Tonelli.
No, this is like high fancy, like 5-star restaurant kind of stuff. They showed me like
It
pictures
is
of
very
it.
nice.
It is a very nice.
Right, there's the turd.
I give it a 10 out of 10. And for the trip as a whole, again, I'm going to actually reevaluate my rating. I'm going to give it an 8.7. I'm going to give it 2 more points.
Because of the short lady with the fedora.
Yeah, that really added
Because the
it to me.
memories they've made together will last longer than her rash.
Facts.
All right, and on that note, we're gonna end it. So hey, thank you for watching or listening, happy anniversary to you guys.
Thank you.
We've been married for 1 year and together for like
made it,
47. For those of you who didn't watch our previous
Suck.
podcast where Amanda talked about it, they've been together since they were 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
10 years old.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
Shane was 9.
generally.
I explained.
You know, in dog years,
Oh, how long?
that's 70
70.
freaking years.
I'm going to die.
No, you're
No,
good.
it's
You're
in
good.
dog years. You're
making me-
human,
I'm worried.
so- No, bro, you're fine.
You're fine.
I was just trying to add essence and
Don't listen to
Strength.
anything
Yeah.
he says. Don't take it to heart. It's
yeah,
all
never.
It's all straight.
Never.
But yeah, thank you.
I'm part. Never mind. What was it?
Michael just likes to keep going.
Yeah, I do.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a comment on this video, like, subscribe, all that ridiculous nonsense. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher,
Yes.
Podbean, all those other podcast places. And
We'll
go
give
to
you
our
a coupon
store.
to the Inn Hotel.
Edgar,
Hotel.
The inn.
The egg-
Edgar, this is not your time.
Sorry.
Why don't you go update the website?
Yes, master.
Go check out our store, buy some of our fun merch and stuff like that. And we will see you guys later.
Hi.
Bye.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Just Plain Nonsense. I'm Amanda.
Welcome. And I'm
Wait a minute.
We just had our intro hijacked.
That's not how this goes.
I don't even know what to do now. That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works.
I don't even know what to do anymore.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
What's happening? There's like an echo. Okay.
Are you ready?
Now I always have to gather my thoughts because then I'm like, okay, if I say, hey, this is just plain nonsense, and I'm like, where do I go from there? You good?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, y'all.
No, you're fine. No, just making sure you're good.
I'm good.
Michael, you good?
Yes.
You got your prop ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
What was that?
That was the prop. Oh, no, it
Sounds
wasn't.
very metallic.
Ow!
Oh.
I'm okay.
That really scared
That
me.
was a bottle of wine that fell over.
It sounds so much worse.
It sounded really intense in here.
Yeah.
I know, it really did.
Everything's fine.
It's fine.
This is fine. This is
He's just doing it for the show. He's actually got his foot slashed open. He's not going to mention until he plays.
I did that once for an Instagram story. I set up a bunch of. This isn't part of the podcast, but
It could be.
I set up
He's
a
just
bunch.
going to fall out from blood loss.
I set up a bunch of pots and pans on the counter, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm coming!" And I knocked them over as I ran by, so it looked like I made a big mess. Sounded like I made a big mess. All right, I'm on my way. Oh my god, I'm coming. Oh, okay. All right.
We're going to have to amputate Rob's foot.
Amputate.
Amputate.
All right. We're starting now.